Well, good afternoon. It's actually, if you want to know the actual time, I've corrected the time on the camera now, but it's always Greenwich Mean Time, so, or Coordinated Universal Time, or Universal Time Coordinated, UTC. So, it's 17:31 local, but 16:31 UTC. But I might as well leave it like that because the clocks are going to go forward, back. The clock's going to go back this weekend, literally, and tomorrow or Monday morning at 3 o'clock. So yeah. So how are you doing? Unusual, isn't it? Oh, I know what you're thinking, Angry. It's unusual to do a thing at this time of night, and I'm not even actually going to work. I'm going to the new Thanet Parkway station to pick someone up. As a possible future son-in-law, who knows? But anyway, he's been on a course all week, so he's coming back. So he'll be knackered. Oh, I better put my lights on. Excuse me. Pardon my big fat thumb. So just a couple of things. I thought I'd record a quick video because just see if I can get past this cyclist without knocking him off his bike. He's certainly going at a speed, and he's on his way home, back to Poland or wherever. Yeah, I wanted to record a video because I saw something on the news this morning that just made me despair, and it's about the situation in Kent Community Health Trust, and it's something I've seen elsewhere as well. So it's not that we're uniquely stupid in Kent, we're just averagely stupid. And it's about a program to try and reduce the amount of childhood decay. And so what they've done is they've instituted a toothbrushing program in schools. And I mean, I'm going to be charitable and say that the schools decided to do that because they've got this mistaken idea that decay is proportional to the amount of brushing that kids do. Or it may be that they've just mistakenly come across a statistic like, 20% of children don't have a toothbrush or brush their teeth or whatever. Or they've realised that children don't brush their teeth very well. Or it could be, but I suspect it's the Community Health Trusts have got, in conjunction with the schools, in trying to justify the money they take, the public money that they take, have come up with this, in conjunction with also trying to fill up the school day, because a 20-minute or half an hour brushing lesson, I suppose, is, could be counted as part of the curriculum, couldn't it? But the point is, the thrust of what I'm saying is this: brushing has got nothing to do with tooth decay. Nothing. Rien, nada, null. Nichts, nein. And yet, you've got people like the Kent Community Health Trust, who you would think are supposed to know what they're doing. You would think that they would know a bit about epidemiology and, community health and stuff like that. And what are they doing? They're teaching children how to brush their teeth. Now, they're not even teaching them to brush them very well, because literally it's only like a 5-second clip, but you've got a teacher out the front with a toothbrush and a class all with toothbrushes, all following a lead, and she's saying you need to brush round and round and round and round, round and round. Okay. I think it's either that or they've got a clip from the wheels on the bus and they've just used the wrong VT. But for goodness sake, how on earth do you think this is going to have any significant effect on decay rates in children in Kent? I just do not know. Now, why am I so aerated about it? Why I'm so angry? No, I'm not angry because I'm never angry because I would like to be angry. I'm angry because of missed opportunity. I'm angry because of ignorance. I get doubly angry when the ignorance is on the part of dental professionals who should know better, right? And I'm trebly angry when my entire career and everything I've tried to do as a dentist, over 40, nearly 50 years now, really, has not moved the profession forward one bit. It's moved my patients forward. My patients are streets ahead of the patients of other dentists, in my opinion, because they've had the right information. They've been told right at the very beginning that if they've got high decay rates, it's down to cakes, biscuits, sweets, fizzy drinks. And if they've got gum problems, then it's down to the fact that they never brush their teeth thoroughly. Not that they never brush their teeth, but that they never brush their teeth thoroughly. So we've got two problems there. I mean, for God's sake, it's not as if two problems as a load of problems, not more than we can cope with. It's two effing problems, right? So to take the solution to one and tell people it's the solution to the other is just gross negligence. Really, I just cannot believe. Anyone who's doing this should resign straight away, in my opinion. Anyone who tells a patient that their decay is in any way related to their brushing, their brush, the time they brush, whether they've got an electric brush, whether they need a blue toothbrush, really doesn't understand the disease that they are taking money to treat. There's only one solution for decay, and believe me, it's free. It's a free solution. When people say, have you got some advice for people about preventing decay? I say to them, yes, go on a sugar-free diet. No cakes, no biscuits, no sweets, no fizzy drinks. And then you won't need to be ringing in radio phone-ins saying, I can't find an NHS dentist. You'll be ringing in saying, I don't need an NHS dentist because I've got no holes in my teeth. I haven't finished yet. I'm about halfway through, right? Don't think I've finished yet. So, I have patients who come to me who've got this sort of means-based approach to disease where, they go in and the dentist or quite often the hygienist will say to them, like, you've got a lot of decay or your gums are in a terrible shape. And they say, well, how often do you brush your teeth? Oh, twice a day. Everybody says twice a day, right? Everybody says it. And I think probably most people do it. They sort of think that they do it twice a day. But then the dentist or the hygienist has got to explain why they've just said that they do exactly what everybody knows is what needs to be done, and yet they've still got decay or gum disease. So there's this cognitive dissonance, isn't there? So the dentist has to explain it by saying, oh yes, but actually there is this other thing that only we experts are privy to that is necessary, and unfortunately you, being a layperson, didn't know about it, and so you need to do it, and then everything will be fine. So what they do is they then come up with their own particular brand of BS, where they say, oh, you need to go downstairs and buy an electric toothbrush, or you need to floss in between your teeth, that's another favourite one, or you need to use a particular type of toothpaste, or whatever, mouthwash, you name it. And of course all these things are completely useless, because every time the patient comes back, every 6 months, the dentist or the hygienist says, oh, no, things are still not very good. What are you doing? And so the patient says, well, I'm brushing twice a day now, and I'm using floss. And so the hygienist then says, oh, well, I know what the problem is. You mustn't just brush your teeth twice a day and floss. You've got to use TP brushes. I'm going to give you some TP brushes, which the the rep has quite helpfully given me a few free samples of, and we bought a couple of boxes of them when we got a shift, and she keeps ringing me once a month to ask me if we need any more TP brushes, etc. And so I'm going to give you some TP brushes, or rather you're going to buy some. Now the the profit that hygienist is making, not really coming from selling TP brushes, although you could argue that possibly it's adding to their profit, but really what the hygienist is selling is her expertise, right? Her professional opinion. She's charging, I don't know, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 quid to tell you what to do, and you can't complain. You've been told what to do. And so, and the fact that every time you come back to see her, it's hardly her fault, is it? It must be something you're still not doing right. And then, of course, you do your best. You do your best to do your best. And then, but for some reason, you always get shouted at. Now, sorry, I'm just checking that ambulance. It's the blue lights behind me. Always makes me nervous, blue lights behind me. So, what we do is we then get a patient who comes in with and we look at their teeth and we think, oh God, and here we go again. And and you say, what are you doing? The patient says, oh well, I've got 5 different toothbrushes, 2 electric toothbrushes. I'm flossing my teeth 3 times a day. I'm using a very expensive mouthwash, charcoal toothpaste, TP brushes, and interspace, etc., etc. And you then say, your gums are still in a terrible state. Now, why? The reason is because means-based approaches don't work. You have to employ an ends-based approach. Most of these people have got a bathroom cabinet so stuffed full of stuff, they can't get the door shut. So I say to them, the first thing you've got to do is go home, open your bathroom cabinet, and throw everything out the window, right? In return, I will give you a 30p toothbrush and 80p worth of disclosing tablets. And I want you to chew up the disclosing tablets, how I've showed you, until you stain the germs up. And then for the first time in your life, you will be able to see what you're trying to brush off. And for the first time in your life, you will be able to brush it off. Because people are not stupid. I mean, they clean the dishes all right. So if you show them what they've got to clean off their teeth, they immediately become Obi-Wan Kenobi with the toothbrush, right? And so everything improves. The gum condition improves, etc. So what I would do is, of course, the toothpaste companies want to maintain this ridiculous connection that they built up between using their product and not getting holes in your teeth. And of course, parents want to protect their children and not have them have any holes in their teeth, etc. But you'll probably find that all the toothbrushes and all the toothpaste that has been given to the schools to do this ridiculous program were donated, right, by Colgate or whoever, Wisdom, and the schools who love free resources, anything that's free, they're like, yeah, well, we'll incorporate that in a lesson. Yeah, free horse manure. Okay, well, we'll do a project on horse manure. Well, hang on a second. I'm a bit early for this train station, and they're notorious for charging people. You can see it over there on the right. I've got to go all the way round to the next roundabout, turn around and come back. So the first advert on telly ever was a toothpaste advert, and you can imagine what the margin is on toothpaste. I mean, if it costs 2p a tube to make, I'll be very surprised. It's made in such bulk. But what am I going to do? If I'm saying to people who've been told by a hygienist, sorry about this cough, to floss, and the hygienist never shows them how to floss. The hygienist never demonstrates how to floss. The hygienist never checks that they're flossing correctly. They just say, no, you need to floss. And then what happens is the patient then sort of tries to semi-remember what they've been told, and they end up cutting their gums to shreds. So that's why the first thing I do when someone comes in and says, well, what I can do it one of two ways. I can say to them, well, show me what you're doing with the floss. But what they're doing is so horrendous, I generally have to stop them. And I stop them when they wind around the wrong fingers. Straight away, I say, look, okay, I can see straight away you're not going to do it properly, so I don't want you to do it because you're cutting your gums to shreds. And they say, oh, well, that's interesting because every time I floss, my gums are painful. And so I sort of don't do it so much because it makes them painful. I say, yeah, it's because you're cutting your gums to shreds. But how can I fight the entire hygiene and dental profession if they're telling people to cut their gums to shreds with floss and brush for gum disease? Brush for tooth decay, sorry. No, you should brush for gum disease. No, brush for tooth decay. I can't fight it. I'm fighting the whole profession on two of the most fundamental tenets of my profession, which is that decay is caused by sugar and toothbrushing. People don't brush their teeth as well as they think they do, and that's why they get gum shrinkage. And I'm fighting the entire profession on this. It's just ridiculous. So I'm fighting, not only am I fighting my colleagues, I'm now fighting the Kent Community Health Trust as well. So I might as well just hang up my drill and retire. Because the commercial interests have won, the corporate interests have won. The Colgates and the people who make the Durafat and the Wisdoms and the Signals toothpaste and all that, they're all, they've all got it. They've all got this meme, completely arse about face. But I shall carry on bringing my philosophy to my patients, and I shall enjoy them. I enjoy the fact that my patients come in initially completely effed up, and then go away, and then every time they come back subsequently, they're better and better and better, until eventually they come in and they've got no problem at all, which for most dentists and most hygienists will be a complete disaster. But for me, I treat it as the culmination, really, of the wisdom, of what should be. Where are we? Pick up, drop off. There we go. You see all these black and yellow. You might not because it's too dark. But they put all these things down because drop off, pick up, man. Here we go. It's because people started having a little race around, and instead of organising a race for the kids, which they should have done, and let them get the steam out, and then said, okay, that's enough. They've spent like £10,000 on putting sleeping policemen down every 10 yards. All right, so Community Health Trust, nul point. Hygienists in particular, nul point. And dentists in general, nul point, for really just letting the whole thing develop. Apart from me, 10 point. Me. All right, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.